Hello there. Today I wanted to talk briefly about paper trading and whether or not it's pointless, as some people seem to think. So, get started then. Just quick definition: what exactly is paper trading? For the purposes of this video, paper trading essentially is trading without using real cash. You can be using simulator software. There's a few of those around, or literally just trading on paper, which we'll look at in a minute. So this is what some people say about paper trading. They say that there's no emotional involvement because you ain't got real cash in the market, so you ain't emotionally involved in the market in the same way that you are when you're trading with real money. And that means that there's no sense of risk because you know that you ain't going to lose any real money. And that all of that means that paper trading is too easy, and so people what aren't really into paper trading say that because of those reasons and because it's too easy, it's effectively pointless. And to that I say yes, paper trading is easier, but that's the whole point. When you're learning anything new, essentially, you want to start with easy. It's pretty good starting place is easy. You don't really want to jump in at the deep end, as it were. And that's the same in any line of work, really. For example, if you want to go and learn to fly a plane, you'll probably start off flying something like this, a little Cessna or Piper or equivalent little type plane. And once you've got to grips with that and you can handle that and you can take off and land and navigate and do all the rest of it, then you might move on to something more difficult, perhaps something like that. And I would suggest that the Air Force probably don't discount Cessnas as saying that they're too easy to fly and therefore pointless. They will probably say that small planes like that are an essential step in the training of any Air Force pilot. Let's have a look at another quick example. If you want to go and do some serious long distance running, then you'll probably start off training something like this in a park, or doing some running in a park or around the block or in the street or whatever, and you do that a fair bit before you went on to do something like this, running a marathon, because doing 5 or 10 miles is easier than a marathon, but you probably wouldn't say that it was pointless to do those runs before running a marathon. You wouldn't just go and decide one day to run a marathon and immediately go and run it. You would want to do some easier training first. So is trading really any different? Why would you want to jump in at the deep end and start with difficult? It don't really make any sense to jump straight in and start trading live with real money, putting real money at risk, when you've got the option of having a go and having a bit of a practice with no risk. Just don't really make any sense, does it? The thing is, if you can't make money doing easy paper trading, then you're probably going to not make any money when you jump in and do difficult real trading. It just makes sense that you want to get some experience, make your rookie mistakes, and get some real world experience behind you without any risk first. There are other advantages to paper trading as well for more experienced traders. This isn't just paper trading isn't just for people what are learning. Traders of all sorts, all levels of experience can benefit as well for a couple of reasons. One of those is testing out new strategies. You can have a very good idea and be very good at trading a particular strategy. You can be consistently profitable. When you want to come to trading a new strategy, though, it makes sense to give it a go on paper first or on a simulator or whatever without risking real cash. Because essentially, when you're starting out a new strategy, you're going back to basics to reuse the pilot simile. If you're particularly into flying one type of plane, this is more airline pilot type thing. If you fly 737s, for example, and then you want to go and start flying a 747. You wouldn't just jump into the cockpit of a 747, you would probably go off and do some training in a simulator first, because it's a much bigger plane. And the same goes with trading. You can be very proficient in one strategy. When you want to come and try a different strategy, then it makes sense to learn it in a simulated environment first. And in a similar vein, trying out new markets. So you could be a very good Forex trader, trading stocks, although the basics of trading are the same, there are nuances between different markets, and a simulator will give you a good opportunity to learn those nuances as you move into stocks or currencies or futures or options or whatever it is that you want to try out. So paper trading, as I say, not just for beginners, experienced traders can benefit as well. So to get started paper trading, you can do it entirely free. You don't need any fancy software. You can do it with no cost. First of all, you need some charts. You can find plenty of charts for free on the internet, such as freestockcharts.com. That's one example. There's loads of them. If you do a search on Google, you'll find plenty of free stock charts. Some of them are delayed by 15 minutes, which ain't a problem at all, because you're getting exactly the same data just 15 minutes later. You ain't putting any money in the real market. You're not making real trades off these charts, so a delay is no problem at all when you're paper trading. And some of them, like free stock charts, trade off secondary exchanges, but the same thing applies. You're looking at testing out a strategy and learning the ropes. You're not looking at making live trading decisions. So free charts, no problem. Then you want to get yourself some paper and a pen, and then you can paper trade. And essentially all you do is you watch your charts, and whereas normally you would hit a buy or a sell button on your broker interface, instead on your bit of paper you write down the time, what it is you're trading, the name of the stock or whatever, and the exact price. And you do the same when you exit, and that's it. You've logged your trade. And that's essentially what paper trading is. It sounds simple, it is simple, but it works. So to round off, a few of my tips on paper trading. First off, have a strategy. Don't fumble around in the dark. Don't just jump in and say, oh, I'm just going to try and make some money. The whole point of this is to see if your strategy is profitable, and if you can be profitable trading your strategy. So have a strategy, stick to it, trade it as if you were really trading in the real market. Second thing, be disciplined. Don't think, oh, I'm just going to try this. I wouldn't normally try this, but because I'm only paper trading, it don't matter if I make a loss, so I'll just jump in and see if it works out. Doing that, there's no point in doing that. You ain't getting any benefit from it. You want to treat every trade on paper as if it was a real trade, and it can be quite difficult to do that, believe it or not. It's very tempting to try stuff out, to muck around, because you ain't got real money at risk. But the point is, if you ain't disciplined enough to trade your own strategy as real on paper, then you ain't got the strategy, you ain't got the discipline to follow the strategy in the live market either. So it's another very good reason to paper trade, is it's a good test of discipline. Next, go for consistency. Don't think that if you've made money after one day's paper trading, you've got it nailed. You want to go for at least a week of being profitable on paper before taking your strategy live, because you want to make sure that you yourself are consistent, and you want to make sure that your strategy is working in various different market conditions as well. You could one day's results, let's be honest, could be a fluke, could be luck, couldn't it? You could just have a market one day where everything jumps up, and anyone could make money just by hitting buy and sell. So you want to test it over at least a week, preferably longer, and go for some consistency. And last point is that there's no shame in going back to paper at any time. If live trading isn't working out for you, if you're having a bit of a losing streak, then going back to paper can be an excellent way of not only getting your confidence back, but also just figuring out what's going wrong. You can start tweaking around your strategy, try some different stuff out without any risk. And I know that, again, it's very tempting when you're trading live. If you've made some losses, your natural reaction is to want to go and increase your size or trade more to try and make back your money. But you want to do the exact opposite. You want to back off if you're losing money, and ultimately, well, you've got two ways of backing off. You can either trade smaller size, or if that ain't working out for you, or if you're really in trouble, go back to trading just on paper and get your confidence back and work out what's going on. So there we go. That's my thoughts on paper trading. As I say, I believe it's an excellent tool in learning. It's not something that applies just to trading, it applies to anything. You always want to start off with the easiest option, and if you can learn in a risk-free environment, Sure, you don't get the emotional hit and the risk of live trading, but that's the point. It's a stepping stone, and one was well worth taking the time to do. All right then, hope that's useful, and have more for you again soon.